Howdy friends, welcome back to the Eclectic Sam YouTube channel and welcome to my eclectic corner of YouTube, where I predominantly talk about reselling and selling on eBay and things like that in general. But from time to time we may go on a trip or talk about history or have a little story or, eclectic things in my life. Before we get started, you see down below that subscribe button? If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that. It doesn't cost you a thing. It helps me out. Plus, it gives you the ability to see what's coming in the future. All you people that have already subscribed to me know that I haven't posted anything recently. I've just been so busy with a lot of little things, and when I have time to do a video, I just needed to rest from my muscular dystrophy, and my my energy level's kind of low. So I thought, well, I'd probably need to get another video out. And what's better than to do with what's sold on eBay recently. This month's been kind of slow for me. I have been listing, like I harp on with everybody, to list regularly. But for some reason, sales have been off this month. But you know what? That's all right. Probably partially because people, off from holidays and stuff like that. But you know what? I keep moving forward and enjoy the sales that I do have. Let's get started. First of all, the first 4 items that I sold were from my baseball card experiment that I was doing. What I was doing was listing low dollar baseball cards starting at 99 cents as auction items, and it didn't work out the way I wanted to. So what I'm going to do is go back and start listing the low dollar baseball cards as store items at their actual value. I'll have to sit on them a little bit longer, but I'll make a little bit more than what the 50 or 75 cents that I was making on them before. But I did sell 4 cards at auction, but they all sold for actually a little bit less than what they were valued at. But that's one thing that you got to do, is sometimes play with things and see what does best. And at least I didn't lose a lot of money off of them. But the first non-baseball card item that we sold was a vintage Diamond H little cap gun, revolver cap gun. And it sold for $25.99 with free shipping. That was a neat little cap gun. I had gotten it in a junk drawer lot at a local auction. And it had been sitting on my shelf for a while. I never did list it. So I was glad to get rid of that. Next up was a Swingster brand Winston Cup Racing jacket. And I got that in an estate buyout from someone. It was a real nice 90s jacket. Sold for $14.99 plus shipping. I didn't have a whole lot invested in that one. Next, I always tell y'all lapel pins. Sell your lapel pins because they're easy to ship. Don't take up very much room in your storage and everything. It was a Greece flag with the World Cup soccer, Coca-Cola pen. It sold for $8.99 with free shipping. I probably had 50 cents into that. Next up was a 2-item order. It was a Heller brand Land Rover plastic model. That was one of my models that I was selling off. I only have a few more left. I'll probably get around to listing those soon. And also a little Matchbox Range Rover, the little ones. And that I probably had 50 cents into that, if that. and those two sold for $16.49 plus shipping, and that was a combined shipping, so that was a good little sale there. Next up is a vintage elementary school or grammar school social studies book. It's called New Centerville. It's basically a little curriculum book. It's sold for $14.99 plus shipping. I got that free. My dad was bringing over some stuff that he was getting rid of. It might have been his when he was in school. I'm not sure. It was from the 50s or 60s. So, yeah, $14.99 free item. Next up was a newer Poison, the group Poison, rock group. It was 2018 concert t-shirt. Now, concert t-shirts do real well, but the high dollar ones are usually the older ones from the 90s and older. This one, being a 2018, a newer one, only sold for $14.99 plus shipping. But I had like $2.50 into that one from a local thrift store. Next up was RLA's brand, a newborn floral embroidered baptismal christening gown. It sold for $30 with free shipping. And I'd gotten that free from a lot where my mother had a children's clothing store, and she closed it out. And she gave me some of her leftover inventory. Next up is something that I don't like seeing it, but I make good money off of it, is selling pictures, old pictures. Basically selling people's dead family members, the old family photos and so forth, because this losing families' histories. You find them in big lots at auctions, or if you do locker clean outs or whatever. These people lose track of who their family members are, and they don't know who's in the picture. So they just get rid of them. They don't mean anything to them. But there are a lot of vintage photograph collectors. Also people that decorate with vintage photographs and so forth. Plus people that, let's say, like this one was a woman doing a horseback riding. Real nice looking woman, trick riding on a horse there. So, like somebody that collects horse items, vintage horse items, might have bought that one. Or somebody that collects pinup photos. Of course, this woman isn't in a bathing suit or anything, but, it's a beautiful woman. If they collect pinup items, they might want to add that to their collection. Or people that collect cars, if there's a car in the background or whatever. So this one sold for $14.99 with free shipping. And usually when I buy out lots of vintage photos, I have no more than about $1 in each of them. So, and the more desirable of what's in the photograph, the higher dollar the photo would bring. So with this, with a good-looking woman in it and a horse, $14.99, that was a medium range photo. If, say, it was a woman in a swimsuit on a beach, it might have brought $30 or so. So, do some research about vintage photos and figure out what they sell for and everything, and maybe add that to what you sell on eBay. Next up was a vintage Motorola CB radio. Now, I sold this one as untested for parts or restoration. It was sold for $20 plus shipping. It was a fairly heavy piece. And I bought that at a local thrift store for $5. Next up is a little U.S. Air Force trinket box with two logos on it, a little wooden box. Sold for $17.99 plus shipping. My dad actually makes these. He used to sell them on eBay, but he quit doing eBay. But he does set up at like a local antique store and sells them there. But he wanted me to see how well I would do in selling one, and sold pretty quickly. And I sold it for more than what he normally sold them for on eBay. So I might start getting some of those from him from time to time to sell. Next two items are going to be Etsy sales. First one is a vintage Speedo brand bikini. Probably mid-90s bikini. Had the high leg rise, what they're wearing again now. It's sold for $25 plus tax on it, so $27.57 with free shipping. That one came from a vintage clothing buyout that I bought where I paid $1 per item. And in this case, it was 2 items, but it was one outfit, so I paid $1 for it. So that was a good sell. I still have a few swimsuits left from that buyout. Vintage swimsuits, I've told y'all before, if they're nice, still in good shape, not worn out, vintage swimsuits do real well. Next up is a men's Plains Western pearl snap shirt, and it sold for, I believe it was for $20 plus shipping, so they paid $24.36 with tax and everything. Got that at a local thrift store for $3. As always, those pearl snap Western shirts, they do real well. And next up was a brand that I didn't know anything about. It's called Carl Connie. It was kind of a streetwear clothing company in the 90s, I believe, early 2000s. But this was a denim jacket, sold for $22.99 plus shipping. This actually would have sold for quite a bit more, but it had some staining on it. But that went by global shipping. I believe it was going to England. And I got that for $4 at a local thrift store. Next up is a little tie-tack pin with a little spur, cowboy boot spur. That sold for $12.99 with free shipping. Little bitty sucker. It wasn't very big whatsoever, but real fragile, so I still put it in a box. It only cost like $3 to ship it. Next up is something funny. It was a vintage cigar ashtray. Now, if you don't know, a cigar ashtray where the cigar would rest, like a cigarette ashtray and cigar ashtray, the cigar ashtray has a bigger divot in it for the cigar to sit in, instead of like a cigarette ashtray has a little divot. But this was actually originally a silver plate piece, but somebody had cleaned all the silver plate off of it. So of course, silver plate under silver plate is copper. So I just sold it as a copper cigar ashtray. It sold for $20 with free shipping. And that came from actually the same junk drawer lot that the cat gun that I showed you at the beginning of the video came from. So I only had maybe $1 into that. Next up is another DVD from my DVD collection that I'm selling. $6.99 with free shipping. Shipping was like $2.79, so made $1 or $2 off of that. The final item is a Her Universe dress. All the Her Universe clothing, they came from Hot Topic and places like that, are from like science fiction movies, or anything with a fandom This, of course, is Captain America, Marvel Captain America. A limited edition dress. Sold for $22.99 plus shipping. It would have sold for a little bit more, but it did have a little spot on it, so I had to photograph that and tell the person that it was there. But they came free from a friend of mine that was cleaning out her closet. I'm sure y'all have heard me talk about getting that lot of stuff in the past. But that woman actually sent me a message right after she paid for it and said she was happy to get it. So that's real good. But that's all that sold here recently. Like I said, things have been slow, but I'm still selling. So, that's good. And, I've told y'all in the past, this is all part-time for me anyhow. One thing that I have been doing, though, I've been going through, I have about 960 items listed, which is quite a bit, compared to some people. But a lot of it's clothing that sits for a long time. But what I've been doing is I'm going in and things that have been listed for a long time, I've gone in and ended them. And instead of doing relist, do sell similar. What that does is that creates a whole new item page for that item. So it's like it's a brand new beginning for it. If you do relist, all that does is just relist the item, and it's still in the matrix of eBay as it's been there for a year, 2 years, whatever. So with the sell similar, it's starting it fresh, brand new, and it's like a brand new item, gets new eyes on it. So, if you have a bunch of stale items on your store, that might be something you want to think about. But I've got some ideas for some new videos coming up. Got my second shot here recently, so I'm going to be able to do some traveling soon. Going out and going to some museums and stuff like that. So may see some videos coming up that's not just eBay, more vlogging type stuff about my life. And I'm gonna be doing some more of the house, so I'll be doing some more videos on that. So I hope to start getting back into having at least one video a week, and hopefully 2 or 3 a week. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And always hit that subscribe if you haven't already, so you can see what's coming in the future. And always comment down below any questions, suggestions, or if you just want to say hi. I'd love to say hi back to you. But until next time, my friends, I love you. Bye.